Start off the podcast with a little intro segment, and I got nothing. Does anyone have anything to talk about?
We could talk about this very self-indulgent comic that I got that was practically given to me because please get rid of this.
Okay, just talk. Let's start. Let's just start with that. Talk about your dirty comic.
Sean's got something.
Sean, what do you got?
Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover. It's happening.
What?
What do you mean
that got announced a while back, you scrub.
Well, it's finally coming through now.
Wait, like as what? As a comic? As a TV thing? As a comic. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. TV thing because the rights would totally happen on TV.
I mean, you don't know.
Warner Brothers owns Batman, and doesn't Fox or some other company own TMNT?
Oh.
Well, it depends. What network does it come on? Like what TV? What TV channel gets it?
It wouldn't be on the TV. It'd be on like a straight to DVD.
Oh no, Jonathan! It'd be on NBC on a Friday night schedule slot at 9 p.m. Just like, I don't know, one of my other favorite shows that got canceled. Thank you, NBC.
Wait, it was on. Oh wait, this wasn't when Hannibal was on because that's only on during the summers.
No, NBC cares a lot more about Hannibal than they do about fucking Constantine. So there you go.
And they still couldn't save Hannibal.
Hey Sean, I like how you talk shit about us repeating memes, yet you are a broken record with the meme theme song.
It's not really a meme. Wait, what?
Yeah, that was the cue for theme song. Whatever. Fuck it.
Where do I even start the episode? That's just...
Wait. Wait, were you not recording anything?
Yeah, but that was just a jumbled mess. There was nowhere to start with that, John. You can't just say theme song and expect me to magic it into an episode.
Well, I mean, you just have to try.
You could start with when he said, so, we got an intro or something.
This is, by the way, this is all just how we do this. So, this is going to be a horrible jumbled mess.
Which this isn't how we do this.
Okay, well, Ryan, how do you want to do this?
Maybe not in a way where you just say theme song in the middle of a conversation.
Well, I mean, that's how we always do it.
No, it's not! You just started doing that 2 weeks ago.
He wants to talk things out, John. He doesn't want to just get cut off every time he tries to bring up something serious with you. That's not good for your relationship.
No, it's not.
Theme song?
God fucking... I quit.
You should have y'all's discussion of the theme song as your opening intro segment.
I mean, we could. This is literally just this is how we do shit. We try.
I can see why Brian needs therapy now.
Okay, welcome to the WIP Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Black Napple 101. We're on episode 27. Anybody?
27.
Thank you. I'm your host. With me are three lovelies and a special guest. Special guest, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I run the travel blog, The Traveling Kimchi, which is something I started when I spent 2 years teaching English abroad in South Korea, and I did a lot of traveling during that time too, so I started a travel blog because, I don't know, I really like traveling. I think it's a big part of being a citizen of the earth. So, still doing that since I came back to the USA, and I'm looking at expanding it into something to create a fund or something to start a scholarship to help other people travel abroad.
Very
cool
noble.
beans.
Yay,
Thank you.
traveling.
Okay, so I am Mama Donovan, and I am the Texas Steampunk Holdra.
My name is Sean. I also go by Grunt OP or Drunk Dojima or whatever you know me from at any convention. I'm in training Pokemon, and out of 719 choices I have, I don't know what to choose.
You should choose the ice cream.
I'm doing that.
Ice cream.
I choose a Pikachu.
God damn it! I'm Silverfish 91 and I'm still playing Ark. I don't even know what day it is anymore.
And yet again, I'm John.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
And we're here to waste an hour of your day. Whether you're at work, trying to go to sleep, or just trying to do something interesting.
Yeah.
So, we're here at it again, and I don't know. This past week was kind of weird. A lot of interesting stuff happened in the news, and a lot of more hot topic issues. Hot topic, great. Yes, product placement right there. A lot of things came up in the news that were kind of like hot button issues. I kind of want to jump straight into it today. Unless Jessica, you want to tell us a little more about yourself in your blog, or do you want to just straight jump into topics?
I can if you guys want to ask questions, but doesn't matter.
By all means, we'll do that first, and we'll jump into topics. So, give us a little background knowledge, a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am an alumni at the University of Texas at Austin, and I majored in RTF, which is Radio, Television, Film, and Human Relations. And then when I graduated, I decided to not get a job with those majors, and I decided to teach English for 2 years in South Korea because my mom is Korean, and I've never had a chance to try living abroad with my South Korean family. So basically in Korea, the only thing you can do job-wise if you speak English, only English, is teach English. So that was my only option. So I spent about 2 years teaching English, where I started my blog. And I kind of did it as more of a thing to keep up with my editing, but it just became something that I ended up doing because I liked it. I'm not making basically any money from it, but it's fun. So I did that for 2 years, and then I came back to the US, and I still run it. It's kind of come to expand more than just traveling. It does like mini adventures and monthly favorites, and I started doing K-pop reaction videos, which has been interesting. But yeah, just basically doing little things like that. It started on YouTube, but I've expanded it to an official website, so the www.thetravelingkimchi.com. And yeah, it's going really well. I'm enjoying it, though.
I saw that you went to Alamo City Comic Con this year.
I did. Oh my god, it was so good.
Did you go all 3 days, or?
No, I couldn't afford it. I remember the first time I went on a Sunday just because it was cheaper. And this year I wanted to cosplay. So I was like, no, if I'm cosplaying, I have to go on a Saturday, obviously. So I ended up going Saturday. It was so good. I got a glimpse of Stan Lee without having to pay the $500. And
I know, right? It's so expensive, but it's because he's super famous. But yeah, I was also there for only Saturday too.
Oh yeah, I only bought like one thing too. I got like a $5 profile sketch of the new Stormtrooper. But
oh, that's awesome.
Man, it was I wanted to like unload my wallet, but it was so expensive.
I did unload my wallet. I bought some art instead of buying lunch because I'm like, I can eat later. I can only get art from this person now.
Tori, then you complain later at a fucking con that, oh, I'm dying, John. I'm dying. I need food.
That was a different convention when I had more money. And also, I was stuck to that table.
Hey. It's not fair. That's not true. I bought pretzels using John's money.
Yeah. Two things. One, you're more professional than us. Crap. Ryan, we gotta step up our game.
We?
We.
Okay, we.
Yes, you're a little more. Yes, we.
We're not
Ryan,
we're not worthy.
Yeah, we're not worthy. And two, I just had a question. When you were in Korea, what was what was some of the more difficult aspects of doing your work there? Like, what did you encounter that made it difficult between like a language barrier, if anything?
I think, well, I didn't encounter too many problems because I think the big thing depends on the contract you go on. So with the contract that I went, basically the government paid for my apartment and everything. So I didn't even have to worry about my apartment bill and finding an apartment and things like that. Like, things were already set up for me. And I was really lucky that I got a school where the co-teachers I got spoke pretty good English. Apparently, like, some people, they would get a co-teacher whose English was like a little bit so-so, but working with another foreign teacher there, I think one of the biggest things was the culture difference, because I had a little bit of exposure, obviously, with my mom being Korean, that there are certain things that aren't the same, like how they treat time isn't the same with, especially in the teaching way. They do a lot of things last minute. You don't find out your vacation days till like a month before. So in a lot of ways, like the culture difference, by watching my other foreign teacher was a big thing, I think, because he would get really upset. Or he would have like a kind of language barrier with his co-teacher, and I'd have to kind of step in and be like, yo, dude, like, she doesn't have the verbiage or the vocabulary to explain it to you in a nicer way, so she sounds really curt when she's telling you something. But obviously she's a nice person, she's not trying to say it in a really, like, dickish way. But because, like, language, like, you're just gonna say it the way you know how to say it, and, like, if you don't have a total grasp on the language, then sometimes it's not going to sound the best way. Like, your word choices aren't exactly on par with what it should be. But
it's like, what I'm trying to say is you can't really do that. I'm trying to say it in a nice way. But what it's like is you can't do that for the rest of your life as long as you're here.
Yeah, like, how, like, maybe, like, something wasn't a good idea, and she'd be like, no, Jeremy, I don't think that's good. Whereas, like, someone who spoke English might be like, well, I don't think that's maybe the best option. Let's keep that in mind, and we'll look at some other options, and then we'll go back to it. We're a little bit more with our word choices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so. We're the only language in the world that understand how to be nice, or fake kindness with our wording. Every other language.
Damn the Brits.
Yeah, every other language is pretty damn blunt.
Poppycock.
I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be any kind of tree, what kind of tree would you be, and why?
A willow tree. I love willow trees. I think they're so pretty. It's either a willow tree or an oak tree, because oak trees are just so damn grand.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good answer.
I would have
Apple
said
tree.
Oh, that's a good one. But they look kind of like, apple trees look a little bit flimsy.
But they provide apples.
Yeah, but I feel like if the wind blew too hard, it'd be like, eh.
Sounds like John.
That does sound like John. We throw a little wind his way, and he's like,
oh!
Where are you?
Like, an oak tree is either, like,
so
there to stay
offended.
for forever, even if there is wind, or with, like, wind, a willow tree would be like, looking fabulous.
Well, I'm already being sassy today. You guys. Okay.
Sassy pants on.
Sassy pants going on.
Well, so when you were up in Korea, did you teach basic English, upper level? Like, what type of, like, to what extent were you teaching the English? Were you teaching to help establish BICS or CALP?
Well, I was assigned to elementary school, and depending on what school you get, like, it'll differ what grades you're teaching, but I ended up, over 2 years, I ended up teaching from 1st grade all the way to 6th grade.
Okay.
And then on the side, I did some tutoring for some K-pop idols, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What?
It was pretty... I tutored some K-pop idols on the side, and then a lady who was involved in the K-pop industry, but she wasn't like an idol or anything. But yeah.
Neat.
Well,
wow,
aren't you a badass?
Are their faces really that, like, milky and smooth up close?
Yes.
Wow.
But their skincare regimen's amazing. Like, when I first went to Korea, I had problems with rosacea, and I still had a bunch of acne. I looked like I was still going through puberty, basically. But I ended up getting some skincare over there, and it's so good, and it's so cheap.
Really?
Yeah. I went to a dermatologist here, like, outside of, because I used to have military healthcare, and so it wasn't totally covered or something. I forgot how it worked out, but I ended up going to a dermatologist here, and it was $100 just for the consultation, and he didn't even do anything. He just looked at me and was like, oh, I think you have rosacea. Here's this, like, little 1-inch bottle of cream. And it was like $100.
$100. Cha-ching.
Yeah. And I went there and they did like a laser treatment, a facial, like a cleansing, and it was $100.
Oh.
Damn.
Like, come on. I know. I was like, come on, step up, US.
Why are
That's
we
why I go-
funding this?
That's why I go to Mexico.
Yeah. I got my wisdom teeth out while I was there too. It was $50.
Oh shit!
What?
I
That cost my
know.
dad like $200.
What? 200? Did he go to the student one?
I don't think it was a student one. I'm not
I
sure.
got it because I still had insurance when I left, and then I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth, and they quoted me like $2,000 to get all 4 with the gas and everything. And I went
Holy
to Korea. Yeah, and I went to Korea, and they were like, "Oh, we just used the numbing shot. It's $50. It's $100 if you want extra medicine." I was like, "Yeah, I want the extra medicine." So it was like $100 for I think 1 tooth. I only got 2 out because the other 2 didn't move at all. That was another thing too.
Really?
They wanted to charge me $2,000 because they were like, "Well, they might move." I was like, "I'm not gonna pay you $2,000 for might."
They might go one
Yeah.
way.
So I want to make a proposition that we all move to Korea because healthcare.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, one thing I was thinking, I was like, well, if my other 2 wisdom teeth ever move, I'll take that $2,000 it was supposed to be, buy a ticket to Korea, take 2 weeks off, enjoy a nice trip, and then at the end get my wisdom teeth out and fly back.
You should get your wisdom teeth out at the beginning of the trip, and then just experience everything else on that medication.
Oh no, because I
But then
run
you
a
can't-
travel blog, so I gotta be taking selfies. I don't need that inflated jaw the whole I don't need an inflated jaw a week of selfies.
Sorry. Besides, story. What fun is traveling without drinks?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't need
Oh,
the
yeah,
drinks
true.
because you have. Well, I got hydrocodone, and that was some good stuff.
No. Well, Tori, if you get your wisdom teeth pulled on, you're on medication. You can't mix them. But you can't mix alcohol with the medication because it's
the
gonna.
drinks.
I know.
You
I got
can't
my
drink
second
it.
one out like right when I was supposed to leave. They're like, "Let's go out for goodbye drinks." I was like, "Meh." I can't.
One shot won't hurt.
Yeah.
Yes, it will. Oh. So yes. Any other questions, guys? Before we move on.
I got my tree question out of the way.
Those are the hard-hitting questions, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, the hard-hitting questions.
No, I really can't think of a question because this is really where I need Pauline to like jump in and ask things.
Well, I guess this segment into the gun policy, Korea, it's totally illegal to have guns, period.
Cool.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
Hold on, they're allowed to. Okay, how do I ask this right? What is the gun policy like over there?
In Korea, guns are completely illegal. So, it was kind of like really, really nice walking back at like, also, in Korea, they don't have the 2 a.m. cutoff for alcohol. So I've been out till like 6 a.m. drinking.
Sounds pretty amazing.
Oh,
Not gonna lie.
Ryan,
That sounds amazing.
Ryan.
Huh.
Ryan, sell all your goods. I'll sell all my goods. We're gonna move to Korea. That's it. It's
Yeah,
established.
And the subway runs until I think about 4 or 3 or 4 a.m. So there were nights where we would go out and then we didn't want to. The taxi's pretty cheap in comparison to the U.S. too. There were nights we would go out. We didn't want to pay for the taxi, so we would just keep drinking until 6 or 5 a.m. when their subway started back up again. So we could take the subway back. Yeah, and it was really nice, like walking back to my house, like super late or super early in the morning. And the worst thing I had to worry about was like maybe a knife puller, like some guy pulling a knife on me or something. But yeah, it was really cool.
So
Super safe.
So when you say guns were illegal there, like there was no, stupid question.
They don't
No-
have
no-
guns. Yeah, the police
So
don't
there's
have
no-
guns.
There's no
What about
hunting, like for sport.
No, I mean they trap animals. I guess like super rurally. They don't really hunt though.
So only the military could have weapons then.
Yeah,
If-
but even then, like the military wasn't outfitted with a weapon unless need be. Like they didn't just go walking around with them. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, jumping on, with the whole thing about gun policy, it's we brought it up because it's about the whole recent school shootings,
Yeah.
and how the U.S. is kind of like on this whole flip-flop between gun regulation versus safe zone regulations slash how do we control guns in the U.S.
It's simple.
Um,
Remove them. That's the thing. You remove
the
them.
thing, but my argument against that is the U.S. Okay, every fucking gun toter in the U.S. is going to argue that we're violating a constitutional right, and every NRA supporter and lobbyist is going to not back down from that. People in the U.S. are really stupid because they don't understand that guns are destructive. Now people will say, "Oh no, it depends on who gets them." That's bullshit because guns are meant to destroy stuff. They're whether it be recreational or to cause harm or self-defense. They're going to harm something.
Well, I'm kind of in the middle about it. Like Australia had like a shooting. I read a news thing about it. They had a shooting, and so some people took a political stand. They got rid of all the guns in Australia.
Yeah, that was the.
Right, yeah, I forgot his name, but he like lost his job over it. But like it's good. But I think a lot of the problems, like looking at Korea and comparing it with the U.S. with a lot of countries, that U.S. is just too big to enforce that kind of rule. For me, it's not about getting rid of all guns. It's about having stricter gun control and the types of guns we have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that works about two ways because I myself got a degree in something that I'm never going to use, and I happen to have a degree in I have an associate's degree in criminal justice, which really isn't much for me taught around and say I know everything about the law. But the things I did study really interesting because here's the thing, and essentially it goes like this. This isn't the first school shooting we've had in the United States, but every time...
Obviously.
Oh, no, yeah. This isn't the first one we've had in the U.S.
It's practically a cultural staple at this point, but okay, go on.
It's practically this horrible tradition, and it seems to happen every 3 to 5 frickin' years. But the thing is, the worst school shooting that we had was the Sandy Hook massacre. And it's weird because Australia had their big shooting in 1996, and they said, no more guns. And everybody's like, we're okay with this. The U.S. had this shooting happen. We're like, maybe we'll just get rid of the big guns. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter what you ban to be illegal. It doesn't matter what you ban to be legal. Somebody will just end up using it in a way that'll harm somebody if they really, really want to harm somebody. You could say also, up the price of the guns. There's an issue too. Because as long as the NRA is taking ignorant fucking stances on gun control, you can never really get anything done about guns in the U.S. because we have such an ignorant organization behind it.
I don't understand, like, how big companies can lobby in the first place. It's just weird how much their money is mixed in.
Capitalism, kid.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, no, money is bad. Money is a necessary evil, but money is very bad.
And, like, I kind of agree with you. Like, in the long run, it would ideally be nice to not have guns, period. But it just, like, at this point, it just makes no sense to come out with a law that's like, hey, guys, we're getting rid of all the guns. Because it's not feasible at this point. Do you know what I mean? It would just make more sense for it to be stricter gun controls, such as, like, all background checks are always necessary. There's not a 3-day expiration date on, because I read something too where if you buy online, it's required that you have a background check, but that requirement, quote unquote, expires in 3 days. So if you wait 3 days and they don't do the background check, you can get the gun anyways or something. It was really weird. There's so many loopholes. Like, I just don't get why those loopholes are available and stuff. Like, why does a normal citizen need to own an AK-47? Like, really? What is that for?
Yeah, I haven't heard these.
Because America.
No, Jonathan, because I haven't heard these fucking protection rifles that people are selling.
Because Americans love big guns.
That's not even protecting yourself. It's like you're about to get, like, attacked by a posse or something.
Because apparently the way gun control is taught better yet, people who misunderstand the Second Amendment the way they taught it, is we own guns to protect ourselves. But then again,
But at
and
the same time,
I can understand if you're like living in a very inner city or rural or very poor neighborhood where crime is kind of rampant,
Or Detroit.
or Detroit or Chicago. But if you're like living in a suburb or a nice neighborhood, why the fuck would you have the need to own a gun in your household? And by the way, gun owners are more likely to shoot themselves than they are to shoot the criminal.
Well, shit.
Bullshit. Okay, John.
No, I said well, shit, because I own a gun.
well, do you have a safe for it?
I keep it locked up.
Yeah, you should get a gun safe.
Okay.
Because a lot of the times the shooting that they're talking about where like their kids get shot or someone gets shot by accident, it's because they don't practice proper gun safety. They don't own a gun safe, or they sleep with it under their pillow or some weird crap.
No, I keep my gun in a little what's it called? A little lockbox.
Don't say drawer.
No, I keep mine in a little lockbox. So
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I only live with guys in the house, and they all have a gun, so we're gun toters in our house. But it's because we do recreational shooting.
See, yeah.
Don't take that out of context.
That's understandable. Shooting the blow off steam.
Well,
Taking that so out of context, by the way.
I posted a status about this. I think when that 3 shooting that involved the frat kids, it was like 2 days after the Oregon one or something. It wasn't a school shooting per se, but it happened on campus. I posted a status something about how many shootings do we need on a college campus for the USA to get gun control, and basically, of course, Facebook being what it is, it blew up, and a lot of people were saying that they sounded like super scared about having gun control laws, and I was really confused because a lot of stuff that's being put forward to change about gun laws isn't taking away from like a good citizen's ability to obtain a gun. It's just closing loopholes, making it harder for people that shouldn't have guns, such as like serious bipolar issues or like mental issues that shouldn't own a gun, or background checks for guns and stuff like that. So I guess it's weird to me that there's such an argument about it. Because if you're a good citizen, there's really nothing to argue about. You're still able to purchase a gun if you take the correct steps.
Yes, but also, I'm going to quote Jim Jeffries on this, one of my favorite comedians. But from time to time, we all get sad. First we're happy, then we're sad.
That's what pills are for.
True.
Well, what it comes down to is that the American society feels that they are entitled to have a gun, or entitled to these rights to the amendments, but it's often misconstrued to where if we say no, you are violating our right to live. But it's contradictory because, well, if we don't regulate stuff like this, what's to say that people are not going to go ape shit with guns one day and just be like, let's do a purge, yo?
Well, that's the thing. The whole purge law. I don't know what rumor got that started. Maybe because of that fucking movie came out. But
oh god,
we will never have that amendment ever, 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 ever. Have to stress that word enough. Ever. We'll never have that amendment anywhere in our Constitution ever.
Professor, this podcast is getting too political. Help.
On an non-political note, I think my rabbit jumped over
Professor.
its gate.
Okay, so
because he heard us talking about guns. Rabbits
Right,
hate guns.
So have we jumped to the point of like the history of gun control and how it's actually an extension of Jim Crow and was actually designed by the KKK specifically so they could lynch black people easier?
no.
Did we cover that yet?
Well, I'm gonna walk away for a moment or
Well,
two.
now it
Y'all have fun. I'm getting some
okay.
Later.
Okay.
No,
Hold on. Professor, introduce yourself and then say hi to our guest.
Hello, I'm the professor. Are we already recording?
Yes.
Yeah, you just jumped in late, brother.
Yeah, I know.
This is Jessica. She's the
I
traveling
just
kimchi.
got out of work like a few minutes ago. I've been running late today. Sorry.
And you ate a cheese sandwich. We know.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. So who is our guest? The traveling kimchi?
It's me.
Yes.
Thank you for making it sound professional. Well, continue, John, about your statement.
Huh? Well, let's see. There are 3 areas of gun control I like to deal with. 1, you have the history of it. 2, you have the practical numbers of it. And 3, you have the morality of it. So, let's see. The morality front is pretty clear. Gun control's idea is basically, what gives another person the right to tell you how you can or cannot defend yourself? The answer is they don't. It's the same with, marijuana. If I don't like marijuana, do I have the right to tell you you can't smoke marijuana? No. If I don't like guns, do I have the right to tell you you can't own a gun? No. So, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but I think you smoking marijuana doesn't impede my quality of life or possible death.
Well, remember, the argument on the life or death was what they used with prohibition, and we know that's a crop. So,
but once again, if you go into a school with a bottle of alcohol, that's not going to immediately threaten the lives of all the children in that school.
But that's also illegal.
That is a false equivalence, Professor.
True, but in the 1950s, most high schools had firing ranges and trained kids how to use rifles. So there were guns all over the place in schools in the 50s, and there was not a
firing
problem.
ranges on schools because there's ROTC.
Well, yeah, that too. The also, if you look at now on the statistical side too for gun control, you do have the there was a gun control group tried to disprove the idea that gun-free zones were responsible. They actually ended up finding out that about 82% of the mass shootings since 1950 are on gun-free zones. So when you tell people, hey, you can't bring a weapon on here, it turns out people who want to do mass shootings deliberately target gun-free zones because they know the people there are unarmed.
Yeah, because it's not obeying a law by then. It's like this big freaking dare say, oh, I can't bring a gun there? No, I'm going to bring a gun there. You just watch. I'm going to bring a gun right through here. And it just becomes this big, sick challenge.
Yeah. And then there's also the statistics too. 2014, 8,000 people or so were killed by guns. But one other problem you run into with the gun control debate is there's a lot of different numbers, and people call the different numbers the same thing. So the important number is gun homicides. Gun homicide means people actually murdered with guns. That's about 8,000 last year. Things that are deadlier, things that were used in homicides more than guns last year, cars, baseball bats, and knives. All 3 of those were used in more homicides than guns last year. Now, if you look at gun deaths, people will cite gun deaths. That includes suicides. Suicides don't really count because 1, it's a victimless crime. 2, someone who's going to commit suicide is going to commit suicide. And 3, it's not relevant to discussion of gun violence.
The statistic with the knife, was that in houses where a gun was also available? Because you can make the argument that knives, of course, would be higher because knives are in every single household versus guns.
Well, let's see. A good one to look there is England. England banned guns back in the day, and so what happened is you had their gun violence statistics went down. Like their gun homicide numbers were reduced after they banned guns. Yeah. However, their total violent crime rate spiked. It tripled. And has been increasing ever since. Because what happened is people who are going to mug you, people who are going to rob you, people who are going to murder you, they tend to be large, physically stronger. They tend to have a physical advantage over their victims. They choose the victims that they have an advantage over. So they use knives. So as a result, in England, the primary murder weapon are knives. Because, they don't have to worry about someone pulling a gun on them. They can get away with just pure physical force. They'll also just use their bare hands and, throttle people. That happens in England. Likewise, the increase in violence, which ties to another statistic, which is relevant, is if you look at total numbers, so like our 8,000 gun homicides, that's actually a high number. If you look at it in terms of just the number of it, we do rank somewhat high nationally. However, you have to control for our size. We're a country of 300 million people. We're one of the most populated countries in the world. When you actually do that number GDP, average per citizen, we're actually ranked about 104th in the world for gun violence, or violence in general too, as well. So we're actually pretty safe compared to most of the world. Europe is more dangerous than we are when it comes to violent crime. And we've actually been getting better, not worse. Like, gun ownership has been increasing a lot, and violent crime has been decreasing in general. The main exceptions to that are Chicago, Detroit, DC, and New York City, where
Outliers.
gun control lie.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, Chicago is the murder capital of the country. Chicago also has very strong gun control laws. Same with DC, same with Detroit, and unfortunately, New York City is also getting back on track. New York City used to be like one exception to the heavy gun control violence. It's getting back into it now because de Blasio is screwing everything up because he's an idiot. But yeah, so though gun control is usually generally associated with high crime rate. High gun ownership is usually associated with low violent crime. I mean, Houston is the third most populated city, and its crime rate is nowhere near that of Chicago or LA. Because it has.
I hear what you're saying, but man, if I was getting mugged, I would hope to God the guy had a knife instead of a gun.
Yeah. Oh, true. The
I was like, I don't know.
Also, Professor, I see what you're saying, but those could just be correlations. It doesn't mean exactly that.
True.
The fact that they have guns means they're safer. Especially since when you say these cities have stricter gun laws, well, of course they do, because all these guns were already there. It's not like having stricter gun laws means automatically that people get more guns. They were put in those cities specifically because the crime rates were so high.
That's true, but again, look at Houston. Houston is just as large and is just as diverse as Chicago or LA, but has much lower crime because it does not have strict gun control laws.
Well, I don't know if it's accurate, but I'd heard that there was no accurate, statistics based for gun laws in the U.S. because there are a lot of, I guess I would assume the NRA was doing a lot of motions to prevent an in-depth study about gun violence and stuff in the U.S.
True. There are two primary studies that I generally base mine on. There was one study in the 90s that was done by Harvard. That was actually done by a gun control group. They were trying to find evidence in favor of gun control. They ended up finding the opposite. The last major study was under Obama. He had the CDC investigate gun violence, and that's actually where most of the stats I'm citing come from. The CDC found that if you compare the 30,000 deaths, so they looked at deaths rather than specific homicides. There are 30,000 deaths. They also found that according to the FBI, if you look at crimes where guns are involved, in 300,000 cases per year on average, when a person brandishes a gun, doesn't use it, doesn't shoot it, like if you're being mugged or something and the person pulls out a gun and shows it, the crime stops. And neither party is harmed, but it stops the crime. Simply brandishing a weapon actually saves the life or stops the crime upon the victim. So you have that balance of 300,000 crimes on average each year are stopped simply by the possession of a gun by the person who would be victimized versus 30,000 actual deaths, which includes, again, about 22,000 suicides, which isn't really relevant.
I don't think it's much about gun control. It's possibly what we may also need to focus on is the better use of a gun. Better yet, knowing where vital spots are and where they aren't, something that can be heavily, heavily practiced by the police department. Because they haven't had the best of luck in the media as well.
I don't quite follow. Say again?
Okay.
I think he's eating.
I was. For a
okay.
second.
No worries.
What I'm saying is I believe if we have a society that understands and has a better use of the weapon instead of just some Joe Q six-pack who believes that he has a gun and what he saw in a movie, he's like, oh, I can emulate that to the best of my ability. It doesn't really work that way.
Well, training is important. We do know, for example, there have been 2 American towns that actually experimented with mandatory gun ownership. So what they did is they told every citizen, you are going to own a gun, and we are going to train you on that. And it was a fascinating experiment. And what they found is sure enough, crime rates dropped once every citizen owned a gun because criminals found out, like people who wanted to break into homes, things like that. They knew, because of the advertising, that these towns, everybody had a gun. So thieves moved on to neighboring towns instead of those. So that was a rather interesting case. I think that was from the 90s, if I remember right.
Way to go. Now the town next door can suffer.
Yeah.
Take all the crime for themselves.
Yeah, I don't
Beautiful
advocate
experiment.
I don't advocate mandatory gun ownership because to me that's like, I don't know. Yeah, mandatory stuff rubs me the wrong way. I'm for, like, if you want to have a gun, you should be able to own a gun. If you don't want to own a gun, that's fine too. It is your choice. It should be a choice. But there shouldn't be people telling you, oh, you can't own it because X. Because I mean, okay, so let's go to history. History time. All right, the three pillars of history time. Because my name is the professor, so the history of gun control is fascinating in the U.S. Now, a lot of people always throw Nazis into the mix when it comes to gun control. I try to avoid that because Godwin, I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to cite the Nazis here. Just putting that in there. So
Besides, there's a lot more to be scared of than their guns.
Exactly. I'm going to stick to the American history of gun control because that's.
I want to stop you there really quick.
What?
I do like how you had to note we don't want to quote Nazis.
Yeah.
Just saying. It sounds like
the Nazis confiscated the guns from the Jews for the specific goal of starting the Holocaust. Like that was why they instituted gun control, was to disarm Jews so they could lock them up in camps. Because the Germans knew that an armed populace could never be locked up in camps. That was their specific policy. They admit that as such. But that's not.
But there's
relevant
a weird argument like built.
But you're not going to talk about that.
Sorry, he let me to. But anyway, that's relevant to Germany. It's not really relevant to the U.S. U.S. gun control history is more relevant here.
Okay.
So,
isn't it kind of weird that there's a built-in argument in that, though, that the fact that, like, well, if you end up being victimized, it's kind of your fault that you don't own a gun. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's kind of messed up in a way, like, because I was having this discussion on Facebook with that status that blew up, and people were saying, well, if you feel unsafe, like, why don't you get a gun? And it's like, yeah, but a lot of people don't want guns, and it's kind of weird that there's this, I guess, invisible, unsaid argument of, well, if it's obviously statistically safer to get a gun and protect yourself, then why wouldn't you just get a gun? You know, like, it's like they shouldn't have to feel like they need to get a gun in order to be safer statistically. So I
do agree. Victim blaming is not correct. It's never the person's. If someone is attacked, it's not their fault that they weren't armed. It is the fault of the attacker. At the same time, it is the responsibility of every individual to protect themselves how they see fit. If you feel that you can defend yourself without a gun, that is your choice, and you're fine for making that choice. And if you happen, if someone happens to attack you, it's not your fault. You made a choice, and the other person made a choice in attacking you. It's their fault that you were attacked. It's not yours. You just chose a method to defend yourself that didn't work. So hopefully next time you'll maybe make a different choice, but it's not your fault you're attacked. If that makes sense. It's the victim should not be blamed. I agree.
But the victim should not be blamed because, well, 65% of the time, the person mugging the other person who just wants money, or when they break in, they just really want your TV.
Yeah. People breaking into homes. Yeah, that's that's the thing. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, right. Yes. So the three pillars of Jim Crow. You had voter registration, like the voter test. You had the segregation, black and white. And then you had gun control. Specifically, the KKK was one of the major proponents of American gun control when it first started. Their goal was to keep blacks from being armed so they could lynch them easier. That is why sheriffs, if you look at the South, sheriffs would deny gun licenses. The whole idea of licensing guns came about specifically so that African Americans could be denied guns and white people, mainly KKK people, could be allowed guns. That way, the KKK would be the only ones with the weapons. So it was designed to make African Americans victims. Guess who opposed it was the NRA. The NRA and the NAACP were early allies against that aspect of Jim Crow. If you look at C.O. Chin and several of the other early civil rights leaders, they actually worked with the NRA to have illegal guns. They own guns illegally.
Of course. I mean, I'm not saying like they shouldn't support them, but I'm like, of course the NRA would support them. There's a lot of money to be made there. That's like a whole population that you're not making money off of.
Sure,
Right.
I suppose in some ways. But NRA was more interested in the civil rights. So, like C.O. Chin's famous quote was, if the sheriff wants to take my guns, come and take it. I mean, he gave the Texas quote about that. It was the NRA who helped supply the guns that kept Martin Luther King protected at some of his rallies. So early gun control in the U.S. was specifically designed to make victims out of African Americans. If you look at Chicago, their early weapon controls were specifically designed to target women. So women rape and molestations were a problem in Chicago. So women took to arming themselves. The Chicago folks.
Professor, I'm digging the history lesson and all.
Yes.
I think you're cool right now, but I have to say that we need to segue this topic onto something less uncomfortable.
I'm super sorry.
We only have an hour and 30 minutes, John.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We
talk about guns and the KKK.
Okay.
Things
All right.
Okay.
Modern wrap up. Bloomberg's gun control committee today.
We love you, John, but you're getting the gong.
All right.
Going...
Well, let me just make it relevant. Bloomberg's current gun control committee, one of his members beats his wife. There's a reason that a guy who beats his wife would want gun control. Just saying. Anyway. Okay, fine. We're out.
Hey,
now this whole segment will be cut because why are we talking about gun control on a nerd podcast? I did want to question.
Well, it was just something that came up and I wanted to hit on, but Ryan hates everything. Ryan, we love you. I do want to talk about another thing, and it's kind of relevant to all of us. I'm not sure everybody. Cosplay. That's been an issue because of New York Comic Con. There was some shit I saw the other week. A day. I don't even know. It was on the Huffington Post. They posted a cosplay is not consent video, but it was super weird because I'm not the type of guy that doesn't advocate that. I don't know how to put this. Cosplay is not consent, but when you do a video where you have multiple women interviewed, then you say, but you only represent one person as a guy. And he says, "I never been touched or harassed." It seems like, you can check it out on the Huffington Post. It's a cosplay not consent. All these girls are talking about how they were catcalled and how they were harassed and touched and all this. And then they have the Jared Leto Joker guy going, "I was never touched and harassed, so I don't know what that feels like."
No one wants to harass someone dressed up like the Joker. That is just creepy, dude.
Well, there's half and half. There's half of the group who want nothing to do with it and they want to stay away, and then there's the other half.
Yes, that's true.
Guys, I have to say, that argument is bullshit. As from my stories on this podcast of earlier conventions, I have been harassed in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I would not put that past a male cosplayer to be harassed.
I got harassed at a con.
Granted, you were dressed as a woman, and as soon as that guy realized you were not a woman, he ran away.
Yeah, I don't appreciate getting my ass pinched at a con, but I'm just saying, it's not fun. But it goes into this. I kind of want to double it up into this whole idea also that my big issue with this thing going on too is that cosplay has become such a big pop culture topic that there's always two arguments that always pop into mind. Cosplay is not consent, and then the whole everybody can cosplay. My big thing about everybody can cosplay is yes, you can cosplay, but work to something that suits your body. Cause man, oh man, have I seen some cosplays, and they don't flatter.
I think there's an argument there, though. Anybody should be able to cosplay as anybody. Just make sure, no matter what size you are, your bits and pieces are covered.
Yeah.
I've seen cosplays where only their bits and pieces are covered, and that's it. And that's disturbing.
Well, one of the big things, Sean and I could even talk about this one, was at fucking RealmsCon, the Foxy cosplayer. That girl wasn't cosplaying. She was wearing nothing. Sean?
I think I went to the one in Dallas. What's the one in Dallas? Acon. They actually had a chart that they posted on their website. You have to look at this thing. It's hilarious. It's a really, really basic like stick figure body block person, and they basically go, yes, no side boob. Shorts have to, like, it can only be this short, blah, blah, blah. Butt cheeks have to be covered all the way, no lines. Like, all of these, like, rules set down for people who are cosplaying. But, of course, they didn't have body paint, unlike Comic-Con. Comic-Con had people wearing body paint, so I don't know what that qualifies as.
But Comic-Palooza has body paint, too.
Yeah, so I don't know what you would put that under, really.
I've seen the Acon body outline. There actually used to be a time where it wasn't an outline on a website. It was actually with the info guide that they handed out to you.
Given that four of us have experience with San Japan, we can all literally say there was like little to no moderation in terms of like cosplay rule. Because holy shit, there were some people there.
Yeah.
Especially Speedo Man. Yeah, and him showing his dingling everywhere.
Yeah,
it's just weird because really young kids go to these things, you know?
Yeah, hold on one second. Colleen does have a story, so I'm going to step to the side for a moment, and she's going to tell her story about that.
Hi everyone, it's Knapsack Tack, Mama Salty Bird here. So like at San Japan, this year I had a lot of fun, but I don't know if I talked about this before on the podcast or not, but I know we talked about Speedo Guy at San Japan, and if people who went to San Japan this year know who I'm talking about. And
he was sexy.
And it was Friday night. I decided to walk around in a yellow bathing suit. And if Ryan is listening on this, Ryan, I will send you the picture for you to post up at this part in the podcast of me in my Shadow Rise outfit. And it was just a simple yellow bathing suit. And thank you, by the way, Ryan. It's a simple yellow bathing suit, and it covered a good majority of my boobs and my butt. Now, I've been told all my life that I have no ass, and I've come to terms with it. So when I wear a bathing suit, it covers my ass. Now, just a little bit of, and a little TMI, a little bit of my ass cleavage was hanging out, just a tiny bit, you know, and I kept on adjusting it so I didn't have to worry about getting caught on about staff yelling at me, you know, all this like that. And I'm sitting there with Sean and a few of our friends, and we're just talking persona, mind your girl business, not being loud and obnoxious. A random staff woman comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder, and she's like, "Hi, are you going to a panel or anything like that?" And I was like, "No, I'm promoting for my panel, which is tomorrow." And the woman's like, "Yeah, you have to change out of that." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, your butt's hanging out." I look over and I'm like, "How is my ass hanging out? I don't have one." But they let a fucking guy walk around in a fucking tight-ass Speedo with no shirt on, hitting on chicks left and right, and possibly fucking minors, and being a douche about it. But I have to get changed out of a fucking bathing suit because a little bit of ass cleavage is coming out from the bottom of it.
The same guy, may I add, that eye raped me when I accidentally stared into his crotch. By the way.
You just couldn't stare away, could you, Sean?
I wasn't trying to stare at it, John. He walked into the area of sight of which I was staring at something else, and then he thought it was an invitation. But my eyes said, "No, this is not an invitation. This is for you to go away."
This brings me to a thing I tried doing at Acon, but I got in trouble for it. Most of us are Starbomb fans here, and I tried doing the old man from Starbomb. You know the song?
It's dangerous to go alone.
Take this. Yeah, I did that, and I got really big trouble for it because apparently it's not appropriate. But I was like, but it is appropriate if you get the joke. Kids, yo. Not funny when you have a sword for a dick. Yeah. Yeah. But go just on the topic. I mean, I just feel kind of like conflicted on this whole argument that everybody's trying to say that people can cosplay what they want regardless of how it accents their body. And I've always had this thing where I tell people, do what works to your benefits, because if you're walking around with it all hanging out, you are bound to get judgment, and it's never good.
If there's something that doesn't cover your body, make it so that way it covers your body. We're not trying to shame anybody. We're just saying what might be right for you may not be right for some.
Shit, if I wanted to cosplay a woman, I would, but I make sure it covers my body because no one wants to see my body.
I'd like to.
So you're still saying to cover the bits and pieces, not like the same costume worn by the same size of costume worn by two different sized women.
What I'm saying is, if you're gonna pull what's a character, Erza Scarlet from what's a Fairy Tale, and there's a costume she wears that's like very much a bikini. And if you're gonna cosplay Erza, by all means, cosplay Erza, but work according to your strengths. Because same thing. If I wanted to cosplay a guy from Free, I wouldn't want to cosplay shirtless and in swim shorts, because that's not gonna do any good. That's not gonna do any good for my image.
Yeah, but some people feel like they have the right to cosplay that, and like when it comes down to it, if you wanted to cosplay that character, I'd be like, hell yeah, go for it. Like if you like that character,
when you think about it, are you nearly this strict with people when they go to the beach? Yeah, granted, people don't always wear the right size bathing suits, and they have a lot of fat jiggling about. But are we very strict with them? Maybe a little bit, but we don't say you should leave this beach. Because it's the beach.
It should just be like cosplay what you want. Just make sure, like, if a kid walked up to you, you wouldn't be embarrassed. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it should still be PG-13 at the most, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people don't follow that, but
that's what I was getting at. Like, if you personally think that if you're not representing yourself in an appropriate way, or if you're not doing something that if you feel somewhat subconscious about how you're presenting yourself, it's probably not a good idea.
Because for me, if you're going to be like, oh, you're too big to cosplay that person, at the same time, like, I'd be getting the same kind of hate for being like, oh, you shouldn't be cosplaying as that person because your chest isn't big enough to be that character. Do you know what I mean? It's like kind of along the same lines.
Oh, God, no. What I'm saying is, like, if you're going to cosplay something that requires you to show a lot of skin, but it does not benefit you to show a lot of your ghibli bits, I wouldn't recommend it. Maybe look for an alternative to that character's costume, but still cosplay the character. Just don't do something that's not flattering to you as a person.
I say if you're comfortable with it, do it. Just make sure it's PG-13. Like, your ass is still fully covered, boobs are still fully covered. That's just how I feel.
So, right? John, I think what you're saying, it's like, take that as like a word of advice. It doesn't necessarily have to be the law of cons.
It's okay. How do I put this to where John doesn't inadvertently put his foot to his mouth? I'll be your translator here for a moment.
I think it's too late for that, John.
I mean, I'm gonna salvage a burning ship, and you're gonna
abandon ship.
I'm not trying to be a burning ship. I'm literally just trying to say that if I wanted to cosplay Naked Snake, Snake. Damn it.
Please don't do naked Snake.
No.
Your foot is in the mouth again.
No, hold on. Because Naked Snake could be Snake, but with his outfit. I mean, if I wanted to cosplay Venom Snake in the nudist beach outfit, I probably shouldn't do it because it doesn't flatter the body. But if I wanted to cosplay Venom Snake in the full military outfit, by all means.
But flatter the body is objective. That's the problem. You might not think it flatters the body, but someone else might.
I mean,
I think as long as they're being appropriate, they can wear whatever they want.
That's what I'm trying to go for, but here's also the thing with that, too. By that standard, it doesn't immediately give everyone free range to wear something that's 2 sizes too small. Wearing sizing.
Well, should you be wearing anything that's 2 sizes too small? Everyone should be wearing something that fits you.
Yeah, but you see, yes, I understand that point. But it's we all have that one pair of pants or that one shirt we think still fits us, but the minute we put it down, it's like we've either outgrown it or it doesn't fit, or the minute you move your arms in the right way, the shirt just rips. That's what I'm talking about. And there's some folks in the cosplay community that believes they still fit into the same outfit that they fit in years ago, and that it just doesn't fit correctly. I'm just saying, wear whatever cosplay you want to wear, do whatever you want to do, be whoever you want to be, put makeup on wherever you want to put makeup on, but just make sure what you wear fits.
So you're saying wear your size?
Yes. Yes, that is exactly what I'm
Well, I think. Well, I don't know.
That's good
the
advice,
way the way
Sean.
you say it, you were initially saying it came off weird. I guess.
I have this.
Like, it doesn't come off as, for your comfort means, please wear the size the most appropriate for you. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I have this. It's the monotone. I can't really fix it. It's part of my vocal structure. But, yeah, what I'm trying to say is wherever.
But that should be a rule of life. Like, if you wear pants that fit, you won't get muffin tops. Even me, like, I'm pretty skinny, but if I wear a size 0, like, I'll get a muffin top. You know what I mean? Like, in life, that should be the case, that you should be wearing clothes that fit you, but...
Yes. Yes.
And those rules apply at cons, too.
Yeah.
Not all the rules of society
Well,
are
just
thrown away
safety,
at a
too.
cons.
Like, you
A
don't
lot
want to
of
wear
them
something too
are.
small and it rips
But not
embarrassingly in front of everybody.
Yeah, like you don't want to be that person that wears the outfit and something rips and something's
Boob flash! Bam!
Yeah. Things are exposed to places they aren't exposed. I mean, at Akon, I did see a woman walking around with tape on her tits and thought it was an acceptable cosplay.
No.
But that's just the general thing. I mean, I'm one for body acceptance. I'm one for all sorts of acceptance. It's my thing. It's just make sure what you're wearing is comfortable for you, but also
PG-13.
13. Yes, there we go. That's what I was trying to say. And I'm sorry.
Oh man, guys, these have been very great discussions. Hey, John, do we have any questions?
We do, but do we still? How are we doing on
Let's
time?
just do questions. Come on.
Better just do questions.
Let's just do questions, John. Bring up the question.
I'll save Good Night, Mommy.
Yeah, we'll save the Shia LaBeouf getting arrested in Austin for another time. That was funny.
Oh, can I do my Game Expo recap, or should I save that?
Sure,
Go ahead and do Game Expo in like 5 minutes because I gotta find the boxes.
Okay, cool.
Right back.
Okay, so went to Game Expo over the weekend. Had a lot of fun. Met a DJ, Sefi Huckabee. He's a DJ both for raves, and he also does international radio station Toku FM. He's going to be starting a podcast in January. He's interested in having us on there. He's also interested in being on here. I met him, his wife, his kid. Had a lot of fun there. Met Topwise Games, couple Modernity Games. Let's see. Got to run. I was I think the only RPG there. I was running Ice Brass Revolution. Got to run had 7-8 people almost every time I ran. Some of the other games they couldn't even get players. It was really great though. A lot of people interested. My last game on Sunday, I had 10 people. It was great. So what I did there is we did a totally non-combat game. I had a mystery, like two inventors based roughly on Edison and Tesla were accusing each other of stealing from each other, and the players had to figure out what was going on. So that was a lot of fun.
And there was no combat in that?
Nope, no combat at all. It was purely investigative. They had to figure out what was going on by asking the right questions, going to the right locations. Total role play based. Because with that many people, I didn't want to have combat. Because with 10 people, that would just take way too long.
That's true.
Yeah, but it was a great game. I loved it. Everyone had fun. Everyone had fun on that one. Let's see. Trying to think. There was actually another steampunk RPG there. One of their guys actually came by to check out our game. He was like, this is actually pretty awesome. He then said, we will crush your spirit. Kind of like in a playful rivalry manner. I'm like, ha ha ha, you can't do that. My spirit's already been crushed. But anyway.
I found the boxes.
Yeah, you found the boxes. But overall, Game Expo was amazing. Shout out to Vince and Colleen for running an amazing con down there. I think I'm probably forgetting to give shout outs to a few other people. Like Huckabee was one of the major. Final Family podcast. They were also really good. Missy Rangel, she was there. She was really cool. Let's see. That's about all I can think of, sadly. Yeah, I'd say that's it. Oh, and Dragon Slayer San Antonio. Really cool. Cool folks.
Okay, Jessica, since you are the special guest, you get to choose a color. Blue, orange, or pink.
Blue.
Okay. By the way, these questions are completely random. I did not screen them, so if we get something weird, I'm sorry.
Well, just don't read it.
Just don't ask it if we get something weird. We don't want another "How did you lose your virginity?" question.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's like 5 questions in one. Okay. What is your favorite Pokemon team?
All Bidoofs.
Okay.
I'm trying to work on an Alpha-Doof team. God damn it. Don't you dare steal my idea.
Damn it. 3 Dragonites.
You fucking scrub.
Can I answer? I have any questions.
Sure. Answer your question, kiddo.
I'm going to go with Team Rocket. Favorite Pokemon team, Team Rocket.
Yep.
Yeah!
Oh yeah, they are pretty cool.
I have favorite Pokemon team, and I meant like an actual team that you would make.
Don't name 6 Pokemon, just give us something quick.
Like a type. Like a
Ghost type, Ghost and Dark type. Mainly like types like Sableye and Dusclops. Sean knows what I mean. Those are my favorite types.
3 Dragonites and 3 Alakazams. Done. Next question.
Tori, what are your Pokemon? Go.
Oh, no, don't come to me with that question.
Fine, fuck you.
Come to
Jessica,
me with that question. Come to me with this.
you had your shot.
No.
I think any Pokemon that can use hypnosis would be awesome in the real world because it'd be so useful to use on other people.
No.
That's horrible. What's wrong with you?
Hey, I want days off to go traveling, and I have to convince my boss that it's okay.
I completely went to a different area with that idea. I was like, what are you doing? Steel type, because they're the best.
Then I want to run a mix of ghost and fairy type.
You would run fairies.
I would run fairy.
I cosplayed as a Sylveon. Okay.
I'm going to go with Agumon and Kabuterimon and
Get out.
Gothmon.
Get rid of one.
And
Wait.
Gundam Wing. And
Gundam
Cell.
Wing.
And
And,
And purple guy.
and Cowboy
Grimace.
Bebop, the spaceship, not the anime.
and
Don't forget about Foxy.
Yeah. Just remember, kids, there's only 151 Pokemon. All the others is the LSD.
150.
But not Slippy.
No.
Slippy
Next
can't be a part of my team.
Next question. Okay,
Blue. No, pink. Pink.
Ladies first, Ryan.
What the
Tori.
fuck? The hell is that supposed to mean?
Well, I mean, ladies first. We're trying to be gentlemen on here.
Actually,
Tori,
just-
you're next.
Just kidding.
Choose color.
Green.
We don't have green. Where the fuck did you get green?
I thought
Oh, I thought we had a green.
Orange, pink, and something.
Orange, pink, blue.
There was
Don't
green last time.
Don't
There
worry
was
about
green.
Tori, you're in a wind tunnel. Now you're back.
Orange.
Okay, fine, orange.
This is the best podcast ever, I swear.
This is the only one I've ever been on / listened to, so I don't know.
10 out of
then technically it's your favorite then,
Yes.
I guess.
Why do fools fall in love?
Ooh ah, ooh ah, ooh ah.
Hey,
ooh,
copyright.
Your copyright, Sean. We don't want to get that shit again.
Oh.
Shut that out.
Shut your
I'm gonna
mouth.
edit that out.
No,
Fix
we're
it in
gonna,
post.
God damn
Ryan
it.
is put in with nothing
No.
but tentacle hentai.
Oh, jeez.
Ryan, you got your work ahead of you. At this point, I want you to just do what Colleen said and put some tentacle porn up. Go.
No.
Okay,
I'm
well-
running Windows Movie Maker. What the fuck you expect from me?
Photoshop.
Photoshop doesn't do shit with Movie Maker.
Make it work. Why do fools fall in love, guys?
Why?
Because
Why don't they fall in love?
Because everybody falls in love.
Because Idiocracy is a documentary, not a fiction.
You
Because
sound like a very romantic guy.
Because how else are they going to spread their genes?
Oh,
I
ew.
find them on the fucking floor. Duh, Tori.
Ask your mother.
Oh. Because
Oh.
all I gotta say to why do fools fall in love because of butts.
I say because they're weak and I devour their hearts. I
Okay.
love to the weak.
You're
Colleen.
not supposed to be here. Go away.
There I am.
Go away. You're supposed to be sleeping because you had a bad day.
No.
Colleen, pick a color.
Bad day. You take
Stop.
it one down.
Isn't that a copyright thing there, too?
Sing a sad song and turn it around.
Da 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 da.
If we sing it bad enough, we won't get copyrighted, Jessica.
It's true. I looked it up.
Fucking Colleen, choose a color.
Oh, what colors are there left?
The 3 colors we said in the beginning. We have a shit ton.
Blue.
What?
Blue, my favorite imaginary friend, blue.
Oh my god.
Makes you feel old, don't you?
Do you drink to drown your sorrows?
I don't know,
Yes,
John.
heavily.
God, that's
Depends on the sorrow.
Yeah, Zara, how are you feeling, Zara?
But the sorrow is dead. I can't ever drown him if he's already dead.
Here. The hell with this.
Um,
Out, Colleen. Right.
great. You broke fucking Sean. Good job.
You're welcome.
I've been on this podcast for like 3 fucking episodes. Give me a fucking break.
Well, whose fault is that, Missy?
Not mine.
Good point.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Can we edit out that part where I slammed my head against the desk?
No,
because
it is.
I yelled. The sorrow's already dead. We can't drown him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we drink. I drink. I don't drink to my sorrows away. I kind of just do it because I don't fucking know. I'm thirsty.
I drink to reach that drunk point, but I always get close to it, but I never quite reach it.
I mean, you found happiness and because you were drinking.
Sorry.
What?
That point you're trying to reach, that's called blackout. You never want to reach that point.
You don't want to pull John.
I don't even end up with any funny thoughts. I'm just kind of very, very slow.
I mean, you are already slow. I mean, you're slower. Okay, Professor.
Yes?
Since you have a woman as your profile picture, you're an ex-girl. Choose a color.
Wait, what?
Well,
I
you
did
have
not- That's the 12th Doctor. What is wrong with you?
no on the Skype.
That's Peter Capaldi.
No,
No.
Skype profile.
Skype profile.
Oh, Skype? Oh. I see. Okay, jeez.
Yes.
No, about my Facebook picture. Like, that's the 12th. What? He is not a woman. He has attack eyebrows. What are you
'Cause
talking about?
Doctor
They're
is
very aggressive. It's like they're trying to rebel against the rest of the face.
okay. John, Professor, pick a color.
Red. No, I know. Surely. Blue.
Bitch, we have 3 colors and you guys neglect.
Shut up, John. Just
I
pick
want
blue.
chartreuse.
Yeah.
No,
I
want
did that on
aquamarine.
purpose. Blue. Anyway.
See what I mean when I said just a little bit of wind. He just goes, eh.
Yeah, fuck you guys. Hold on.
Answers when I.
Oh.
That's the answer when I poop.
Oh no, fuck. That was a bad one. Sorry.
When I poop?
Who is your waifu?
Oh, my waifu? Oh, that's easy. Yomiko Reedman. The glasses, loves to read. Yeah, pretty much everything I need in a girl.
Ryan, who's your waifu?
Titania Urza.
Okay. Tori, who's your waifu? And it will change for you. It is who is your waifu?
Okay, it's Peggy Carter.
Sean, who's your waifu?
Quiet.
It would
What?
be.
Your waifu is
Okay,
shit.
fine. I will be Carter. Jeez, you don't know.
No. Her name's Quiet.
But you shouted it like, "Hey, who's your waifu?" Quiet.
Quiet!
Jessica, who's your waifu?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
My waifu is Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, that's not a bad one either.
She's the best. She's best waifu. Fuck you guys.
Done.
Titania Urza would kick her
She's
ass.
really good.
Oh.
She's
So long as she's
beautiful,
not playing
she's smart.
Motoko Kusanagi.
But she's in the refrigerator.
Colleen, who's your waifu?
Not in the trash, but she's in the refrigerator. Hey.
Oh,
Oh.
that's some bad taste. That's some bad taste.
That's pretty good. I like it.
It's actually pretty clever, John.
That's pretty clever. I'm gonna give her that. It's pretty
pretty
clever. It's
I
pretty
like it.
clever.
You get one bison buck for that, Colleen.
Dude, that's like $3.
Of course.
That's
Right.
pretty good.
Ryan, pick a color since you're.
Wait,
since
no,
you're-
that's like $7.50. That's what
Right.
the math was.
Pick a
But
color since your best grill.
pink.
For a second, I thought you were trolling. And I was about to get pissed. Like, son of a bitch.
Shut the fuck
How
up,
dare you?
John.
Pink is not a. Oh, right. It was.
Oh nope, can't answer that one.
What does it say? Now I'm curious.
No. I've been curious with these questions before. Do not get curious.
Just type
Move on.
it to me,
No,
John.
I'll ask it out loud, but this won't be the question.
Okay.
It's more like you all touch yourself at night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Last
damn
night,
What?
Yeah, it's more of a statement.
I mean, whoever here says no is a liar.
I will grab my dildo and beat you guys with it if you fucking say no.
Yeah, I can do that to somebody with the laptop if I still need the laptop.
Oh my god, all these pink ones are shit. Thank you, RealmsCon people. Oh, where do I get tickets for RealmsCon?
Ask your mother.
Next
online.
I would assume.
You get it next year.
On the corner from the shady guy that says, "What are you buying?"
What are you
Or
buying?
okay, I think since it's at the American Bank Center, you could probably get your tickets at the American Bank Center, and you don't have to pay the processing fee because you got it at the place instead of online.
But you gotta have cash because RealmsCon is weird like that.
And you gotta
Well,
do it.
yeah,
next-
just have cash.
It's,
So draw some money and pay.
Are any of you going to go to Wizards World in Austin?
No,
Or Wizards Realm or whatever it's called?
no.
Uh,
The next con I'm going to is PAX South.
Yeah.
It's,
I might be going to Wizard World. Extra Life has a table there, so I might be staffing that table.
I was looking up the cost, dude. It is so expensive.
It's a Wizard World con, yeah.
I was
They're-
shocked.
They tend to be expensive, and they tend to basically be based around autographs. Not much fan stuff.
How
Yeah,
much
I
is
was
it?
talking with an artist like that had done it one time, and they were saying that they don't treat the artists that are there very well.
Nope. Yeah, that's true nationally.
What a bunch of whores!
Yeah.
Hey, quick question, guys. But how much is Wizard World?
I think someone told me it was like 60 just for Saturday.
Holy shit.
Ew.
Yeah,
What about for all 3 days?
Mm.
I don't even want to know.
Okay, cool. I'll,
That might not be fact. All I remember, it was a lot more than Comic-Con,
I
It
see.
must
which
be
I
worth
was shocked
it.
by because Comic-Con is pretty huge. You know, like it has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
John?
It's only
Okay.
2 days.
Okay.
It's
John.
31st and the 1st.
I may be in the hospital those days because when I go to that convention, I'm going to grab a machete and chop off my arm and a leg and give it to them.
I mean, you could always just sell your soul to bring back your mother.
My mother's already...
Oh, damn it! You beat me to it.
Fuck you.
Just to answer the question, how much is it? It's $85
Oh,
For all
for
3?
2 days. For 2
for 2 days. I thought you meant the one day. I was like,
No.
oh, okay.
It's
Fuck
for
that
$85 for 2 days. It's a 2-day con for $85. That is
How much
insane.
was the one day?
It does not list it. Let me let's see. It doesn't say on the website. Let me see.
Okay. While we're doing that, Sean, pick a color.
Orange. Come on, don't beat the box, Christ.
Is that what they're calling
That
it
sounds
these
like-
days?
That sounds like
My
the bingo rolling thing with the balls.
My hands don't fit in the box.
That's what she
Do you
said.
have a box of these?
There are 3 boxes of questions.
Why don't you just put them in strips, like, on your desk?
Jessica,
Oh shit, you're being called out by the new girl.
Jessica, there's like 80 questions total between all 3 boxes. I don't have a desk big enough to put 80 questions on.
In a shoebox where you can take off the lid.
But that ruins the fun of me sorting through questions. Don't buzz my balls, yo.
Bust them.
Bust them, please.
I mean,
He
okay.
needs to learn.
Likes it.
He needs to learn his place.
Okay, so I pulled a really nice question. This is, what's your favorite coffee?
Black.
Like, you like your men?
Caramel macchiato.
mint condition. It's a espresso plus hot chocolate plus Andes plus a dash of mint. It is delightful.
Oh my god, coffee with Bailey's is so good.
That's called alcoholism, bro. That's called alcoholism, Jessica.
So good, though.
Kahlua, also really nice.
Can't even lie about that.
Really, that's what it is.
Darker than the midnight sky, and hotter and more bitter than the pits of hell itself. That is coffee.
So I know this is and it's a little cliche, but the one I drink is it's called Dark Magic, and it's like a really dark coffee, and it's so good with a shot of just regular cream or hazelnut creamer, and like 1 scoop of sugar. It's fucking perfect. It keeps you from thinking about work.
Oh yeah, Tori hates coffee, guys. So she's the outcast.
She hates everything except for Bucky.
Well, I get hot chocolate when I go to Starbucks.
That doesn't count.
I'm pissed because that's supposed to be my fucking job, Tori. Get the fuck off my pedestal, bitch.
Hey,
What, to get
I
hot
didn't
chocolate?
get the answer. So if we're too busy not trying to rip each other's hair out, may I answer the question?
Sure, Sean. Answer your question, lovely.
Thank you, Jonathan. I like black coffee.
See, I'm gonna be that pretentious asshole and say I like Kona coffee from Hawaii.
I thought you were going to say you like Starbucks coffee. I thought
No, fuck Starbucks. No, I'm pretentious enough to order coffee beans from Hawaii and grind them myself to make my own roast.
Well, geez, John, what would you do if we gave you our commoners coffee?
I'd still drink it. I like coffee, but if I'm gonna drink coffee, I might as well order my fancy coffee and drink it because it's delicious.
I would also recommend, if you're ever in the mood for a good coffee and you live in Texas and you're going to eat cheap, and go to the Oriental section and see if they have in Mr. Brown's iced coffee.
That Mr. Brown's is the best.
It is the best.
Okay.
Oh, also in Austin, they have a two jours. Oh my god, so good.
Well, I mean, if I had to pick up a backup, just a straight up espresso. I mean, that shit's the best, yo.
Yeah. 1 sip and boom. Yeah. I did that all the time in college.
Talking about coffee, I made a mistake. I didn't know what Cafe Americano was when I ordered it at Starbucks, and I was being really stupid, and I asked for 3 shots extra of espresso in my Cafe Americano. I had a bad time. I had a really, really bad time with that.
Don't you mean awesome time because you were caffeinated?
Cafe Americano is pretty much pure espresso with water. So
Yep.
I added 6 shots of espresso in my drink, and
Yep. Sounds like a great time, man. I mean, you must have gotten so much work done. Like, all the work got done.
Sounds like a heart attack.
I was kind of, when I drank that whole thing down, I was kind of perceiving things in a really weird way. I was just like really alert, scarily alert. Let's gonna move on to the last question for the night. I'm gonna choose blue because I like blue.
It's not a color, damn it.
Nope, that's a senpai. Notice me.
Sean, that's for you.
Well, you did notice it.
Senpai notice men's. What? Wait, me or men? What? God damn it! I'm putting a lot of senpai questions.
No, Colleen, go away. Senpai won't notice you.
Okay. No, that's a question we won't ask. I really should have screened these. Okay.
Choose green instead.
Okay. This is only going to pertain to a couple of us here, so if you don't know this, just stay quiet.
Probably not going to be me. Okay.
Yeah,
well.
you don't. It'll probably be Ryan, me, Colleen, Sean, maybe Jessica if she's cool. If you had a JJBA stand or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stand, what would his name be and power?
Oh!
Ooh.
Sean, I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot go fucking overpowered. The moment you fucking do that, you're
Hold the fucking phone. Hold the fucking...
You
can't go overpowered with a stand... Get the fuck out, John.
No,
you
no,
know
no.
what? You know what? No, you cannot even say that. Get the fuck out, John. You can't even get overpowered with a stand.
Motherfucker.
You know, have you seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? They're
Sir,
the epitome of overpowered.
Sir, I am saying you cannot have the world or any other bullshit like that.
Oh, I was gonna think of like OC stands because, I can create stuff like that.
I don't know too much about JoJo, but I really hope Ryan catches on what my stand is, and I hope he does the thing he needs to do. But my stand would be a very awesome stand. He'd be very strong, very mean, and not a lot of people would see him because he's John Cena.
Oh my god.
Okay, go.
Colleen, get out, Colleen.
That was terrible.
That was actually my answer.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to think
Sean,
of a different
what's your
one.
stand? And what's the thing?
Christ, I think, I like too much music. Oh, I like way too much music.
Red Hot Chili Pepper.
I don't know what I would call my stand Mexicola, named after the Queens of the Stone Age song. And I would see, what would its power be? Fuck.
The Mexican cartel?
No, Colleen, shut it. Away.
Well, you think, Sean, Ryan, what's your stand in power?
I don't know. Well, I'm gonna go with the trend of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. My stand will be called Ninja Sex Party. And its power will be, I don't know, super fast punches.
How original.
Punches?
Yeah, super fast punches.
Punches. Okay, Sean, back to you.
I think mine would be controlling the dead.
John, do you watch JoJo's?
Well, I know of it. I've read several chapters of the manga and so on.
Wait,
Yeah, no,
you
I'm
can
familiar.
read JoJo? Oh my god.
Yeah, what?
Ryan.
What?
I tend to read more than watch a lot of stuff. But no, mine would be Oingo Boingo. Its
Oingo
power would be
Boingo.
weird science. Specifically, the power to dissect and then recombine any living organism or inanimate object that falls within a certain radius.
See, that's clever, you fucks.
Hey,
Excuse the fuck out of me.
I had something clever too here. Jesus Christ. But, no, Professor, I love
Yes?
you. Just for that reference alone.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully that makes up for all the gun control talk. I feel like I may have been a little mean on that. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Jessica, do you know anything about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
I know of it, but I've never read it.
You're not cool! Oh, I'm kidding.
Don't worry.
I'm not super into the art.
Oh, the art is the best part!
Oh my god.
I don't know. It's just like I have a very personal taste, and like one of the things that's really about the thing about me is even if the manga has a really good story, if I don't like the art, I can't read it. So like
Okay.
Attack on Titan, I don't like the art at all, so I haven't read the manga.
But
Okay,
it's
you
so detailed.
Just show you.
you've redeemed yourself since you hate Attack on Titan.
Manga.
I need to show you Return to JoJo. I promise you, it would do you the greatest honor.
Manga.
Oh fuck!
Jesus.
If I had a stand, fuck. Since you stole mine, Ryan, fuck you. I was gonna name my Ninja Sex Party too. Mine would be called Stole Bombaroo. Stole Bombaroo.
Ninja Sex Party.
And my ability would be just to like I don't know, kind of like Jubilee's power. You know what Jubilee does from
Fireworks?
X-Men? Well,
Yeah.
plasmoid projection. That shit. Plasmoid.
Fireworks.
You want to shoot a plasma rifle out of your stand, don't you?
Yes, I want to shoot plasma at my stand. There you go. That's my power. All right, everybody. That's been the WIP podcast. You can find us on Tumblr at blacknappa.tumblr.com, on Twitter and on Facebook at the WIP podcast. If you have a question, comment, rant, or anything you want to tell us, you can submit it on Tumblr. Be sure to check out Ryan's gaming channel. Ryan, go ahead and advertise your channel really quick.
Silverfest91 at Twitch.
John,
That's
go
it.
ahead. Professor, go ahead and advertise your stuff too.
IceBrassRevolution.com, AESBrassRevolution.com. You can find the Facebook page at AES Brass. Facebook/AES Brass, Twitter, AES Brass. And email aesbrass@gmail.com.
And Jessica, go ahead and pitch your stuff really quick.
You can visit me on my website at thetravelingkimchi.com or just YouTube The Traveling Kimchi. I'm also on Instagram under The Traveling Kimchi, and then I just started Snapchat, so that's Traveling Kimchi because they wouldn't give me the characters for the
Alrighty, and be sure to give everybody here a like, comment, subscribe on their individual content or channels. And any last word, guys, before we sign off for the night?
It's been fun.
We love you guys.
We should do a spin-off on politics.
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah.
You know what?
I just want to give a quick shout out to my friends at the Nowhere Fancast. It's pretty new. They only have 2 episodes, and my friend Diane is in it, and it is all MCU talk. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then give them a listen.
Tori, you're supposed to be advertising for us, not them.
What? They can listen to both?
No, only us. All right.
Do they talk about how superhero registration is a metaphor for gun control? Ah.
No, that's it. Good night.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I went the whole episode without saying "fuck it, Jessica." Wait, shit.